As with anything, ultimately our goal for today's episode is simply to get it done, and it looks like we may have failed in that regard. But I'm glad there's still some people that are here, and George, glad you're here. Sorry about the rough intro, but I think we're rolling right now. So I just want to kind of introduce what we're doing here and talk about why I started Men Who Blog, and then what we're hoping to do with this. So I think Sujit may be having some trouble as well, but and yeah, what I started Men Who Blog for originally was because I wanted a space for guys to be able to do some mentorship with between some of the larger bloggers and some of the newer ones, helping guys make the transition from being a guy who just writes for passion to, oh my God, people care about what I'm writing and people want to give me stuff. How do I turn this from a hobby into a business? Or how do I simply manage it as a hobby to keep people happy and enjoy what I do so I continue to maintain my passion? The other step, obviously, is to work with brands to build relationships between the brands and the bloggers that want to work with them. And we're doing that through some of the things like the upcoming Men Who Blog Blogger Mancation to Bradenton, Florida. And in addition to Florida, just want to say thank you to Honda for helping. They're providing a awesome Honda Odyssey, which awesome and minivan don't usually come together. But I'm confident that we're going to be able to prove that a minivan is more than just something that mom uses to take the kids back and forth soccer practice, and that in fact a group of guys can have an awesome time. And on that trip, we're going to be joined by myself from Man Tripping, Sujit from Guys Gab, and Phil from Ganaxon, and Charles McCool from McCool Travel. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that. One of the things that I'm still learning here is kind of juggling all the different things. I don't know if you guys want to. I can turn around and show you. I actually have a whole command center here where I can share different things, and we were going to have a scheduled question and answer session, but because we're kind of off the rails here, just having fun, and like I said, my goal is simply to start this off and do good stuff. I'm going to throw up a question as things come in. So, yeah, George, we're using BeLive.tv here. They have a really cool free trial, and I'm hoping it works out well. I looked at several different ones, including Blue Jeans, to really test out and see what might work best. And Blue Jeans was really cool. I can have like up to 25 people. But the thing I liked about BeLive was the fact that it has some really cool lower thirds and more flexibility for showing different forms of media. So looks like Sujit just joined in, and I'm going to bring him into the broadcast. Maybe. Hey, are you there, Sujit?
Yep. Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. Hey, so sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm glad that you were able to join in again. One of the cool things that we're going to be able to do that I've been wanting to do for years, really all the way back to well, hell, I mean, I enjoyed doing it on Powwow back in the day. I don't know if anybody remembers Powwow back in like '98 or something like that. We were doing the live video chat on, of course, at that time, it really only worked on corporate lands and school lands, that kind of stuff. But then we had Hangouts, and those were good. But really, the problem with Hangouts is that they were never really connected to anything. It was never ubiquitous. And of course, podcasting is popular, but it's hard to really get mass appeal for that. So I like the fact that BeLive kind of combines the ease of use with the flexibility. We can do stuff like here. Sujit and I are going to talk back and forth. But actually, since Sujit's in here now, I'm going to throw up his website, and I'm going to try to figure out how we can play around with these little things right here. But I'm going to throw this up here, and Sujit, you can kind of talk about your site a little bit
Sure.
and your why you started it, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, Guys Gab is a men's lifestyle site. We cover automotive, technology, entertainment, kind of, if you will, like Maxim. Just we didn't feel like they were doing a good job at the time. So, you know what they say: if you want something done right, do it yourself. So we jumped into the scene 2011 and kind of were hit the ground running. Had a really good start, and we built up a readership of about 500,000 people within like 6 months, which really validated that we were onto something here. So, the reason I started it was I'm a giant car guy, and I met some guys that were in this space, and it just seemed like they were living the life I wanted to live. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And it's been incredible. I've been able to travel all over the world, got to drive some amazing cars, meet some incredible people. In fact, me and James even went overseas to the Ukraine earlier this year to drink some alcohol. So, yeah, not a bad life. Very cool stuff. Every day is interesting, and like what we're coming up on this weekend. It's just so cool, the different things we get to do, and really looking forward to it.
And you mentioned this weekend, so one of the things I know we're looking forward to doing is
Wonder if we lost James here somewhere. Well, for those of you that are
oh,
still there, so basic. Oh,
apparently when I don't show my video, it also drops me out on the audio. So, but like I said, we're still learning. We're gonna have a lot of fun. This weekend, yeah, we're going down to Bradenton, Florida, and the Anna Maria Gulf Islands, and we're gonna do some fishing. We got this private villa that's about I don't know. It looks like it's probably about a 5-minute walk from the beach, maybe a 2-minute walk, or depends how much fun we have. It could be faster, it could be slower. And there's the picture of the beach right there. So, and you can see the little the circle. That's where the house we're staying at is. And that's from the TRD Pro, so that's not that trip. Along the way, Sujit is going to be Rocket Man along with Charles. He's going to be jet boarding, so that should be a kind of a fun adventure for you. And there's more pictures of the beach, but we'll have even better pictures that we're going to be taking. There's I'm not sure which guy. I think that's Lewis Walker from the Blues Fest, Salgado. So these guys are going to be pretty awesome. We're going to be seeing some really awesome blues people eating some seafood, having some, gosh, I don't know what. But anyhow, I'm just really glad to have you guys joining me. And it looks like we've got some other comments. So thanks for joining us, Daniel. Yeah, it is kind of like a NASCAR thing, I guess. But difference is we actually work hard for our sponsors and don't just slap logos all over the place. It's all about creating really interesting content and unique stuff. So I guess with that being said, Suju, what is one of your favorite sponsors right now, and what piece of content have you done recently that you're really proud of?
Way to put me on the spot right there. I do a lot of work with Shell, and recently they took us to the F1 race in Austin, and then a week later we went down to the Bondurant Racing School in Phoenix, and got to do a little crash course where we, fine-tuned our driving skills, and got to spend some time with, Bob Bondurant and his wife, legendary race car driver from the '60s. If you're not familiar with him, and was a super cool experience. That Shell and Pennzoil are super involved with all forms of racing, and this kind of gave us a hands-on way to learn about what the difference is between a conventional motor oil and what theirs offers, and do it in a fun way. So we've had a relationship with them for probably the last year or so, and they really do some awesome stuff. So we're thrilled to be working with them.
That's awesome. So, I think I'm going to be kind of a quick session, I think, because like I said, our main goal was simply to make it happen. We're going to be trying to come back on regularly scheduled broadcasts, probably once a week with some other spontaneous live stuff thrown in. But like I said, my main hope is I want to make sure that the guys that are part of Men Who Blog have a chance to meet each other, to talk to each other. I think the Men Who Blog blogger vacations have been a great part of that, but unfortunately, just the laws of economics and time and distance, only a certain amount of guys have been able to really come together in those kind of opportunities. So, with that being said, this software, BeLive.tv, makes it really easy to bring in guests to talk to Sajid about his site, things that he enjoys doing. We're hoping to do more of that in the future. I love the fact that we're able to throw up comments here, and this is kind of a fun one. But in the future, I look forward to having sessions that are focused on specific topics. For instance, how do you work with brands? How do you work with how do you overcome different challenges? And with any luck, we're going to have some success there, and be able to discuss events as well. Like, for instance, the LA Auto Show is coming up next week, or this week actually. Seems like half my feed is filled with people flying out to LA, and I'm sure you're the same way, Sujit.
Oh, absolutely.
I know that there's a really cool Nissan thing they've been teasing. I don't know what it is yet, but I know it's a car of some sort. At least it has wheels, and it's underneath a shroud of secrecy. So hopefully that gets unveiled. And personally, I'm most excited about the new Wrangler. I think that's the first platform upgrade in about 10 years. So sadly, I wasn't cool enough to be invited on the launch event coming up in like a week or two, but I am going to beg Scott and the rest of the guys at FCA to let me borrow one of those at some point. Hopefully, Sajid, we can go tear shit up and
Yeah, let's go
and
off
do
road.
that.
Fun.
And then, finally, one of the things I really want to do, I think a lot of us have had questions about, what do brands want? What are brands thinking when they work with us? And honestly, most of the time, I think we're afraid to ask those questions because we're afraid that, if we ask the question, maybe they won't work with us because we'll get the answer that we didn't want to hear. Guess what? I'm not afraid. And I've experienced working on that side of the fence as well through Sears and Kmart and Staples and independent campaigns that I run here for Men Who Blog. So rather than me telling you guys what my thoughts are, we're going to be able to bring other brands in there and talk about stuff as well. So if there's something you guys want to see, want to hear more of, and all that, let me know. You can always email me, james@mantripping.com, and we'll schedule stuff up. And if you're a guy who's a blogger who wants to be interviewed in here, let me know too. We're always looking for guests. And with that, Sujit, unless you have something more you wanted to add, I think we're kind of just going to wrap this up and call it a successful episode.
Cool. No, it was great talking to you, and I'll see you later this week.
Alrighty, have a great day.
You too.